Oh yeah, mokuna watch our very own obedience. Our Obi people here, mokuna carry go. Mokuna see this one. Oh yeah, mokuna watch.
As governor of the state, they also described Obi as a tribalist Nigerian who does not segregate against tribe, religion, or ethnicity. Speaking at the Central Mosque in Onitsha, where Obi went to mark Eid al-Fitr with them, the secretary of the Muslim community in Anambra State, Mahmood Imam, expressed their displeasure with what he describes as unnecessary lies and propaganda being used against the person of Peter Obi. He said they were not happy with the religious and ethnic colorations being given to Obi and his quest for a new Nigeria. Peter Obi later donated a cash gift of 500,000 naira amidst some other food items to the Muslim community. Lots of
We have one country, one Nigeria. As governor of Anambra State, my ADC was a Muslim from Kano, Idris, and Idris is a good man. We remain close to today. I'm a Nigerian who believes in Nigeria. I have never discriminated against anybody because of religion, and I will never do it.
We sponsor so many of our people to Mecca, uncountable people, which shows all the media say that you are not with Muslims, you are not with Northerners. We are in position to say it, and we can testify that you are with all Nigerians, irrespective of background, ethnic, or religion.
Let's talk about Ayo.
Yes, let me start with that last story with Mr. Peter Obi going to visit the Muslim community in Anambra State in celebration of Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan, 30 days fasting, along with other things in terms of generosity, giving back from the Muslim community. You know, the reason why this is important, or why it's such a beautiful picture to start our morning with, is because this is the picture or the face of what we want Nigeria to look like, where people of different faiths and religion can be together, work together in unity and harmony, where our religious differences or our cultural differences or our way of life does not separate us, instead brings us together in terms of the faith that we practice. And so this is quite a great way to start off this morning. I want to point out a few things from what was said. So the chief imam of the Onitsha Central Mosque, which is interesting because I can bet that a number of people didn't perhaps realize that Onitsha, which is largely dominated by Christians and of course Igbo extraction, has a central mosque. Alhaji Abdurrahman Imam had testified to the fact that Mr. Peter Obi had supported the Muslim community in Anambra State while he was governor, sending some of them to Mecca, rebuilding the mosque when it was destroyed. Ideally, this shouldn't make the news because as governor of a state in Nigeria, where you know that you're going to lead a diverse range of people, you should be willing and ready to meet the needs of all the members of your state who are living there, whether they are indigenes or not. As long as they live in your state, they become your responsibility. So this is demonstrating by example what it should look like, whether it's in the north, in the east, or the south, where we work together and we're able to live in harmony even if we do not practice the same religion. No one is forcing you to come and, to convert. But what we're saying is that it is possible, and this is the kind of narrative that we should be pushing at this time in Nigeria.
The All Progressive Congress, APC, has dissolved its Presidential Campaign Council with immediate effect. The dissolution was contained in a statement jointly signed by the Director General of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Governor Samuel Alonga, and the Secretary of the Council, Honorable James Faliki. The APC-PCC was set up in October 2022 for the 2023 presidential elections of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. The dissolution of the PCC comes amidst the ongoing post-election litigations where the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party are asking the presidential election petition to order INEC to conduct a fresh election. Former governor of Enugu State, Chimaroke Nnamani, is asking the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, to withdraw his petition against the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu and join him in the task of rebuilding a new nation. Senator Nnamani, who said this in a statement, is also urging Obi and his supporters to align with reality and welcome Tinubu's victory to the office of the president of the greatest black nation on earth. He claims that Obi knows that he has neither the national spread nor the appeal to have won the presidential election, pointing out that Obi is doing with the petition, quote, bad belle petulance, and demarketing. The Enugu East Senator Namani claims that Obi needs to come down from his high horse to allow leaders to negotiate on behalf of Igbo and Southeast geopolitical zone for safe landing on national issues, that he can partake in the sharing of, quotes, the accrual of Commonwealth, end of quote.
Senator Nnamani's comment with regards to the petulance, what he describes as the petulance and bad beleism of Mr. Peter Obi. I want to just say that it is quite interesting or ironic to say that the APC during the elections had encouraged and said it many times that in fact it became a mantra for a lot of people to go to court. And now that the time to go to court has come, they are saying don't go to court, it is you being childish. I believe that Senator Nnamani should allow, the petitions have been submitted, he should allow the process take its course. If there's nothing to be afraid of, let the man have his day in court. Anyone should have the right to seek redress if they feel aggrieved. It should not, that narrative should not be pushed in terms of you're being childish, you're not there for Nigerians because you decide to go and seek redress for what you feel or what the candidate feels was not a fair process. Let him go to court. Let the judge or the court decide who is, what is right or what is not right, and let him stop this narrative of saying that, oh, this is in bad taste, you're just jealous because you didn't win. We need to stop this. We have a court system and a judicial process for a reason in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And finally, to the first story in terms of the PCC, the dissolution, it's expected. They've won the elections, even though it's still in court, in terms of other candidates challenging it. But it's important to mention, I must give kudos to whom it's due, that over 400 members of the APC PCC, and they worked tirelessly. You might not agree with how they worked in some instances, but they worked. And so it's time for them to now begin to regroup, to look forward towards the inauguration and setting the agenda, which I'm sure they've already done, to the president-elect becoming the president of Nigeria on May 29, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Well, it's a no-brainer. If the All Progressives Congress says it has dissolved its presidential campaign council, the elections have been concluded, the matter has moved to the next phase, which is, the tribunals, the courts. So the elections haven't been concluded. Simon Lalong, the Director General of the campaign, and the Secretary, James Faleke, issuing a statement saying the campaign council has been dissolved. In the same manner, we expect also that other political parties, even without putting out an announcement, would automatically have dissolved their campaign councils because the campaign is over.